Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to go over some new watercolors that I got. I was able to purchase the new Daniel Smith watercolors for 2025. And the colors include June Brilliant number 1, June Brilliant number 2, Coral Reef, Earthy Light Red, Cobalt Green Deep, and Manganese Violet. This set was actually pretty difficult to find. I was able to find it though off of maryartist.com. I believe they're like a art supplier out of Washington. I'm not sure, maybe Oregon. But yeah, these were out of stock like everywhere that I looked. Or you could only get like one color here, one color there, and I just wanted to purchase like the whole set at once. Mainly, I wanted to purchase this set for the Manganese Violet so I can use it in another palette I'm creating. One thing I did notice with these colors is that the June Brilliant number 1 and 2 and Coral Reef have titanium white in them, which for me was a little bit difficult to work with just because of the titanium white added. I feel like it kind of behaves more like a gouache than a watercolor. And so I decided to pull out my sketchbook and just play around with these colors in it. And that's typically what I use my sketchbook for. Testing, playing around. Nothing in my sketchbook is perfect. It's not like one of those like can flip through it and everything's perfect. It's a mess. But I decided to swatch all of the colors and then gradually add water to the colors. I really like testing straight out of the tube when I first get a watercolor, but I typically work from a dried out can of watercolor versus directly out of the tube. So that might be some of the issues that I had, is just that I'm not used to working from the watercolor straight out of the tube. And I haven't purchased new watercolors in forever, so it's been probably several years since I've worked from watercolors straight out of the tube. So I created a sketch and put that on the other side of my sketchbook. I sketched this out in Procreate and then just transferred it into my sketchbook. And I decided I wanted to paint a imperial butterfly. I had zero plan for color in this painting, and I just went in and did kind of whatever I wanted. I started out with June Brilliant in the background, so I covered the entire surface in that color, and then I waited for it to dry, which took a while. And then the only other color I knew what I was going to do with was the purple for the butterfly. Since it's an imperial butterfly, they're purple, so I decided to make the butterfly purple. But other than that, I kind of just put colors wherever I wanted and just had fun with them. and then I tried to like mix the colors to see what other colors I could get. And you can really see when I mixed these leaves, you can really see the white from the June Brilliant come through, which was kind of throwing me off because then I kept thinking, oh, this is gouache, I need to use less water. I don't know. It was just different for me, I guess, because I'm so used to just using more like transparent watercolors versus like having the white just really threw me off. I was able to make a dark brown by mixing the Magnese Violet, Cobalt Green Deep, and Earthy Light Red together to create. So I got this really nice dark brown using that. And I'm layering the June Brilliant number 2 on top of the June Brilliant number 1 here, just to see how dark I can get the yellows. And I kind of felt like with working with these that since I'm working dry and then on wet, or like I feel like the color below kind of activates like that white titanium. I'm not really sure though, but it just kind of felt like that. And now I'm going in with the coral reef for the border, and I'm just gonna do like a checkered print border. And this you can really see that June Brilliant number 1 kind of come through. And now I'm going in with the Earthy Light Red. I added probably way too much water to this mixture, so it was kind of lifting up that coral reef in a way, but it dried fine, I guess. And so I'm just going through and making a checkered pattern. And again, I had zero plan for my colors. I'm just doing like whatever at this point, just playing around. And then I got frustrated with the paint and I didn't like the painting. It just looked like you couldn't really tell what it is. The details weren't there, and I was kind of tired of like fiddling with the paint, so I decided to go in with pen because pen can save everything in my opinion. I don't know. Well, not really, but I feel like I can make the piece look a little bit better when I add ink. But I was just kind of trying to be like loose with this. My husband always says that I'm like very precise with my painting. Like they're not loose. There's no like movement, or I don't know. It's almost like I'm coloring inside of a coloring book and my colors cannot go outside of the lines. Is kind of how I paint. So I was just trying to like have zero plan, just go in, just have some fun painting. And I think the ink for this kind of helped me like get a little bit better. I had my like lines of everything is in their lines, even though there's like, it's not perfect. I don't know. And then, yeah, I didn't really like the background. Like, I felt like it needed more contrast, so I just wanted to play around with the pen a bit more and create kind of like a texture in the background with a little bit of that June Brilliant 2 showing through. And then I just topped it off with some white paint pen type material to make that the imperial butterfly stand out a little bit more. And that is my final painting for the day. Thanks for watching. Bye.